What's good, Grizzly Gang? It's your boy Moz Grizzly, and today I have the Outriders Beginner's Guide. Now, this is a full in-depth guide into the game of Outriders, kind of sets up the story, lets you know some of the things you're looking at in the menus, and also talks a little bit about the characters themselves. So, keep in mind that some of this stuff is subject to change. The only thing we have available right now is the demo. So I will, of course, update this guide once the live game comes out. But just keep that in mind that some things are fairly limited. The demo is restricted of some sort, so bear in mind some of the things that I say may change in the future, but as of now, this is what I know to be true according to the demo. If you like the content, please make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I really do appreciate it. I will be streaming much more Outriders content, creating much more content. And you can check me out also on twitch.tv/MozGrizzly. I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'd love to see you there. Come join the Grizzly Gang. And yeah, I have all my links down in the description for all my socials if you want to find me there. We also have a sweet little community Discord that we've been setting up for Outriders. We have a great group of guys in there. We have some up-and-coming streamers that have joined on, and just avid gamers who are passionate about the game as well. So if you want to join that, the link is in the description below, as well as I've left a couple of resources for Outriders the game in the description, so make sure to check that. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the content, and let's go ahead and jump into it. Cheer. Outriders is a game that's developed by the company People Can Fly, and it's being published by Square Enix. It takes place on a planet called Enoch, which is a mysterious planet filled with creatures, different enemy factions, and mystical happenings that we are set out to explore. We take the role as Outriders, which is a band of sort of bounty hunters, if you will. I don't want to go too much more into it because the story in the prologue kind of sets you up for that. So we will just go ahead and jump into the beginnings of the game once you first log into the Outriders demo. First things first, when you get into the game, you are going to have to create a character. Now in Outriders, there is a pretty decent character customization screen. We start off by selecting either male or female. So I'm just going to go ahead and for the purpose of this, we're going to select male. There is several different head types, different races, different colors, shapes of jaw lines, things like that. You have skin colors here, so you can customize that, as well as eye color. So that is the body section, and of course they do give you an option to randomize it if you're not 100% sure. But then we come over to the hair, and as you can see, you also have a ton of hair styles. You have mohawks, cornrows, you have high top fades, you can go bald if you want, and then you also have facial hair options, so you can go long, you can go cleaned up, mustache, you can go bare if you want, and then you also have several different hair colors here as well. Now as far as markings go, you can also put some scars on your face, some battle wounds, things like that, or you could change some piercings over here. Once again, all of these options are fully randomizable, so play around with that, find a character that suits you, and then once you find somebody that you like, you can go ahead and hit create character. Now we come to the name. Once again, randomize it if you're not sure, but you want your character to speak volumes of you as a gamer, so pick something that's unique to you, and yeah, go ahead and hop in and save the character. So once you create your character, you will be dropped into the prologue of the game. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth into the actual details of this, but I would highly advise anyone who hasn't already played it to definitely jump in and take some time to learn about the backstory of Outriders. This basically sets us up for the rest of the game, and it will also let you know kind of what happened before the events of the Anomoly, and it also takes you all the way up to the point of the Anomoly happening. So definitely play through it and enjoy it, and from the prologue then you will be taken to select your character, which we will jump into right now. Now after you complete the prologue, you will be prompted to select a character, and there's 4 character classes in Outriders. You have the Technomancer, the Pyromancer, the Trickster, and the Devastator. Now the Technomancer is a long-range support type class that utilizes gadgets, and you can manipulate the anomaly to animate constructs and bend them to your will, aiding allies and killing enemies from afar. As the Technomancer, you will recover a portion of the damage you deal as health. Now, the Technomancer is going to be the quote-unquote support class in this game. They specialize in range damage. They use a lot of technologies such as turrets and grenades to help deal their damage, and they are one of the only classes that can heal the team, so they make for very viable supports as well in a team dynamic. So if you think that the Technomancer is something you might be interested in, then by all means go for the Technomancer. Next, we have the Pyromancer, which is your quintessential fire mage type class. They are a medium range conjurer of fire. They cover foes in flames, incinerate entire squads, and heal your own wounds as enemies fall to your inferno. As the Pyromancer, you will recover health whenever enemies marked by your skills are killed. So Pyromancers actually specialize in making sure that you ignite a whole bunch of enemies on the field. They are the AoE specialists of the game. They specialize in doing dots or damage over time skills, and by dotting up as many enemies as you can, you will heal based off of that. So they are a very viable medium range mage type class that relies on making sure that you inflict as many ignite spells as you can on enemies to heal up to the max potential. Next, we have the Trickster class. The Trickster is a close range hit and run space-time controlling character. Most familiar would be like a mage or like an assassin. They bend the laws of space and time to appear out of nowhere, assassinate your enemies, and return to safety in the blink of an eye. As the Trickster, each enemy killed in close range heals you and grants a portion of shield. So this is the close-up assassin type class. Get in, deal the damage, get out. However, they can also be somewhat of a tanky class because the closer you are to enemies, the closer or the more enemies that you're in close range with, the more you will heal. So if you're the type that likes to run and gun and be up in the middle of the fight, then the Trickster might be for you. They are an extremely fun class, and their abilities are they're amazing to control. They sound great, and they look super awesome in the game while doing it. So that's the Trickster. And finally, we come to the Devastator. The Devastator is your clone, close-range tank, stand-your-ground type class. Tank point and defend your allies. Ground and foes alike will tremble as you pass. As the Devastator, you will recover health from slain enemies that stood too close. Devastator is going to be your quintessential tank class. They command the earth around them to bend to their will, striking enemies as close as possible, far range as possible, but they like to be up in the fight, and they are specializing in taking damage for the team. As you can see here, they have several ground and pound effects. They can deal massive damage to multiple enemies, and they can soak up a lot of the team damage for you as well. So if you're into playing tanks, Devastator is going to be your class. So now that we've created our character, you'll be returned to the battlefield where the cutscene from the prologue left off. And you will notice a few things. You'll notice that you now have skills at the bottom. You'll have a health bar. You'll have your weapon slots. And you'll have your mini-map at the top left. You'll have your quest tab. And you'll also have your your experience bar and your world tier experience bar. So as we make our way through here, you'll also get tooltips up on the right-hand side. But they really want you to experience your skills. So for example, I'm on the Devastator right now, and you'll notice that you get 3 skills. In the full game, you will have a max of 8 skills to choose from, but you can only select 3 skills total. And as you can see here, if you look at my healing bar, you'll notice that you don't have an overshield, you don't have like armor packs or anything. You gain life by the enemies that you kill. And so this game really promotes, up close and personal fights. Not straying away from the action, sitting back and, waiting for the enemies to come to you, so to speak. They want you to get out in the fight and enjoy it. So, really cool gameplay loop with Outriders. Haven't experienced that in many other games before. So it's a really fun experience, really cool. And I would advise you to get out there and play to your heart's content. So this screen is going to be your main inventory screen, and you are going to be spending quite a bit of time in this menu. And we are going to run through what these different tabs are here up at the top, starting with the inventory screen. So there's a lot to digest here, so let me go ahead and break it down for you real quick. On the left hand side here, you'll have your weapons, and you have 3 weapon slots, as you can see. So you'll have 2 primary slots, and you will have a secondary slot or a sidearm slot for your pistols, revolvers, sidearms, things like that. But then you have 2 primary slots, and you can see that there's a little line here that connects them. That's because you can equip any primary into these 2 slots. It's not designated or denoted, like you can't just put shotguns here and things like that. You can put any combination that you want into these 2 slots. And you can carry a max of 30 weapons on you at a time. Over here on the right hand side, you'll have your armor. You can carry 15 of each armor type, and it's broken down by the 5 armor types. You can have a headpiece, a chest piece, leggings, gloves, and boots. So you're probably wondering what these 2 options are. I know it says health and armor. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to break it down very slightly. So for health, based off of my items here, I'm getting a total of 138 plus 246 health. The orange number is a stat bonus for being a devastator, as well as the skills that you put into your character, which we'll get into here in a second. My armor value, so you'll see that each piece of gear gives an armor value. This one's 205, 206, 184, 209, 204. And that is giving me 1,008 armor plus the 502 once again for my skills and being a devastator who gets those passive bonuses. So that's a quick breakdown. This number will be your actual HP amount, and the armor is the amount of physical damage dealt against me, and it's giving me 615% physical damage reduction. So that is pretty tanky, which is what we want because we're a devastator. Now shifting gears over here back to the weapons, you'll notice you have a firepower stat and an anomaly power stat. Works kind of the same way as gear. Each weapon is going to have a firepower value, and if I click on here, you'll see my firepower is 372, 348, and then 268. So each weapon will have a firepower value, which will determine basically the weapon damage your character will deal. Anomaly power is the damage dealt by your melee, your skills, and your status effects. And certain weapons can give you more or less anomaly power. So you'll just have to keep a close eye on some of the more in-depth stats that get rolled on the weapons that are dropping for you. Now I do also want to make a quick note here that there is, because this is a looter shooter, obviously there's going to be different rarities. And you have everything ranging from commons, which are the base level of gear. They don't come with any mods, and they are usually relatively, weak in compared to some of the other items. You have greens, which is the next tier up, or a uncommon, as it's commonly known. These are better than whites. Still don't come with a mod in this game, but now you're starting to see that they come with additional perks on them, whereas the whites don't. So for example, this doesn't have anything below the firepower, but you'll notice on a green, it comes with crit damage. So you can see the natural progression. Things are starting to build up. And then from a green or an uncommon, we move on to a blue, which is considered a rare item. And now is when we start getting into the mods. So blue items will roll with tier 1 mods, and you can see it denoted right there by the little 1. So if we look a little bit closer here, the details, you can see that it comes with a tier 1 mod. Blues are going to be obviously better than green, and you can start to see, so now we have the stats, we're getting mods now, and obviously the firepower is starting to go up. Above blue, there is purple, and now purples are, I unfortunately don't have any purples because I am recording this on the demo, and the purples are extremely hard to come by in the demo. They're only sold by the vendors, and we'll get more into the vendors here in a second. I don't want to go too deep into that. But purples do come with tier 2 mods, and they come with 2 mod slots. So now we're starting to get into the big jumps here with the mod slots. And unfortunately, once again in the demo, we can't do any sort of modding or crafting, so I can't really show that system off yet. So be on the lookout for a future video when the live game comes out, and we will definitely cover the modding and crafting system in depth. Now above purple, I do have some legendaries, and these are my 2 recent ones, but I also have some equipped here. Now legendaries are going to be the premier pinnacle weapons that everyone is searching for. These are the best weapons in the game, and for good reason. They have the highest firepower rates. They come with 3 weapon customizations. So this one has crit damage, status power, and long range damage. Comes with 2 mods on it, and these come with tier 3 mods, which legendaries are the only thing to come with tier 3 mods, and they are unique to the weapon. So this weakness trap tier 3 mod is unique to this Rarog's Gaze legendary rifle. You won't be able to find this weakness trap on any other weapon except the Rarog's Gaze. So it comes with a unique tier 3 mod that cannot be removed from this weapon. Once again, we'll touch on that later when modding and crafting comes into the game. But however, it also comes with a random rolled tier 1 mod, and this mod will be able to be interchanged. So be on the lookout for the legendaries. They're the pinnacle gears that you're going to want to grind for in Outriders. They're super sweet looking, and I highly advise you get out there and you start grinding for these as soon as possible, because they are truly sweet. I mean, look at this gun. That is amazing. Okay, now I feel like the last thing to touch on in this game or in this screen is the resources. So just a quick breakdown of resources. You have, I'm not going to go into the numbers too much, but you have scrap, which are good quality screws and bolts, local currency used to buy wares from vendors. This is basically your main currency in Outriders. This is what you'll use to buy things from shopkeeps, as well as you'll obtain scraps by selling your gear to the shopkeeps. And I can show that system right now up on screen. So you will walk over to the vendor over here, and there's 2 vendors in town, but you come to here and you can see that he has his storefront, things that he has for sale. But you'll come up to the sell tab and you will mark each item that you'd like to sell. And once you've marked every single item that you'd like to sell, as I just pan through and mark all my armor pieces and gear. So once you go ahead and mark all of these items here, then you will basically come down to the bottom right and you can see where it says sell. For me, it's hold down the delete button. And as I mark everything for deletion, you'll see that I'm getting scrap for each value, and it was added to my total resources at the bottom left there. So that was scrap. You have leather, which is animal and beast hide used to improve armor pieces and crafting, drops from creatures, chest, and disassembled armor parts. So you will get leather from basically dismantling, not selling, but dismantling your gear from within your inventory menu. You get leather from gear, and you get iron from weapons. Keep that in mind. Leather from gear, iron from weapons. And obviously, yes, you can dismantle. If you're hunting for those resources, then you will need to dismantle them from your menu in-game here rather than sell them to the shop. The shop will only give you scrap. Your inventory will give you leather and iron. The last currency we have here is titanium, which is a rare ore used to improve item rarity to epic and for leveling items. So in Outriders, a special function that will come out in the live game is you can take your items and you can actually increase the rarity of them all the way up until orange values here, up until legendary values, which will not only give you these stat bonuses, but will give you the 2 mod slots and increase its damage and things of that nature. So titanium is going to be a really important resource for you to stack when you can. And you can basically take an item from white rarity level all the way up to legendary, but it's probably going to cost quite a bit of resources to do so. But just something to keep in mind if you find a weapon that feels comfortable to you. And finally, we have shards. Shards are used in crafting to raise specific attributes of equipment, gained when disassembling weapons and armor. Now, Shards are kind of interesting because you see here on this menu that there's several different stat lines: anomaly power, max health, bonus firepower, armor pierce, crit damage, weapon life leech. These can all be found actually on weapons: armor pierce, status power, close range damage, crit damage, skills, life leech, close range damage. Obviously you don't see those on here. I believe that those are unique to the legendaries, but for example, you'll see on this blue piece of gear it says anomaly power. And so if I were to disenchant this blue piece of gear, then I would actually get anomaly power shards back. And you can also use those when the modding and crafting system comes out to enhance that gear. But once again, we'll talk about that more later when it's available. Another quick tip is looking at this piece of gear right here. You'll notice right below anomaly power in the mod window, there is a little 4 square looking icon. It's a little square with a cross through it. This will actually tell you if it's a mod you already have in your collection. So you won't need to hold on to those pieces of gear. You know, as long as you have a piece of gear with that little window on it, then you can safely know that you already have that in your collection. You don't need to hold on to it or anything, and you can sell it safely without missing out the chance to, you know, in the future use that mod. Whew. So that was a lot for the inventory. I know that it's a lot, but like I said, this is going to be your most important screen of the game and one you'll be coming back to constantly. So let's go ahead and jump into skills real quick. Each character comes with 8 different skills. In the demo, we only currently have access to 4, but I will leave a handy link in the description to a resource that I found while the demo is still active right now. We have about a month until the game comes out, so if you're watching this video before then, visit the link down in the description for the Outriders Wiki. They have done a great job of giving people the descriptions for these skills, and you can go check out what the other 4 skills are if you're watching this game during the demo. Once this game goes live, everyone will have access to these, and it will be pretty much a thing of the past. But for now, if you're watching this video recently, then yeah, go to the link, the Outriders Wiki, and you can look up what all of these skills do. But I did want to mention that these are your 3 skill slots, like I said, and you can interchange these at any time. So you can pop those out and you can put in all new skills and all new orders, whatever fits your comfortability level. But for me personally, this is the way that I prefer my layout, and so I'm going to put this here and that there. But yeah, definitely play with your skills, your combinations, and see what you like. And let me know in the comments what you found to be most effective for your class. I'd love to hear. We do tons of theory crafting and strategy over on my stream. You can find me at twitch.tv/MozGrizzly, and I stream Monday through Friday in the evenings. So if you'd like to tune in, come check it out, come say hi. Leave me a follow, leave me a like, whatever you want to do. Show me some love. I would greatly appreciate that. And, you know, maybe we can share tips and tricks and strategies for Outriders, because I'd love to hear what everyone's opinions are on the game. So, jumping into the class trees, this is going to be your quintessential class building tree. This is going to be how you shape your character, which way this is how your character kind of reacts. And every class has a couple of different ways, particularly 3 different ways to build it. You have in particular, I'm on Devastator, and they have 3 classes here. They have the Vanquisher, the Warden, and the Seismic Shifter, and you can kind of see that there's different trees that branch off into each one of these. Each class has 3 main things. So what I've noticed is each class's top tree focuses more on weapon damage and just straight up DPS. The middle trees for most classes seem to be more of like the tank or defense oriented classes, and the bottom tree seems to focus more on skill power or anomaly power. So that affects your melees, your skills, and things of that nature. So right now, as you can see in the demo, you only get 2 points, and I've started to go into the tank tree because I am a Devastator. But the beauty of this is that you can reset those points at any time, and it doesn't cost anything. So if you aren't happy with your current build, you can absolutely start going into a different tree at will. So play around with it, have fun with it. It's there to experiment with and have fun with. Now we move on to the accolades. Now the accolades are going to be basically your screen that determines all of your, account-wide progress and your challenges that you've completed. So like many other looter shooters, there's, certain triumphs or, milestones that you can hit with your character. For example, submachine gun tier master, kill 500 enemies with a submachine gun. I almost have that one done. And then you'll notice that I get a reward for getting that complete. I get a banner customization. So there is a lot of different things to explore in here. You have combat, progression, hunt, teamwork, item management, and then you go into your class ones. You have Technomancer, Pyromancer, Trickster, and Devastator. And as you see, what is explained here, I'm currently accoladed level 15. So if in any of these top options, if I was to get one more accolade completed, then I would level up to level 16, thus unlocking all of these rewards. So every time you level up your accolade level, you get a bevy of different rewards, all ranging in rarities and things of that nature. So get out there, look at these accolades, see what specifically you have to do. Like for example, I have to kill 250 enemies using Earthquake, which I use Earthquake, but if you look at this one, I currently don't have Golem equipped on my Devastator. I don't really use it right now, and it's showing because I need to use Golem to absorb 5,000 damage, and I have not done that. So definitely want to take a look at these accolades, make sure you're getting these knocked out, because there's a lot of great rewards that come with leveling up your accolade points. Shifting gears, we're going to move over to the quest map. Now the quest map is very small in the demo. You're just getting a small sample size of the areas, but within this area you can see that you have, your main points, which is like camp, and they're established by that little banner icon right there. You have crossroads, you have the rift passage, and you have the solar tower platform. This is where you're going to be tracking your quest, fast traveling to the different zones to access your quests, and you can view your quests over here, and you can also see how many journal entries you've acquired from these areas. And we'll touch on journal entries here shortly, but I do want to go quick through. So you have your local quests, and then like I said, you have you can filter them by the quests that are just in this general area or all of your class quests. Once again, this will become a much bigger list when we have more areas to explore, but I just wanted to give a quick reference to this page. And then as you can see here, you can also increase your world tier level, but we'll jump into this in a second. Now finally, from this menu, we have the journal screen. Now the journal screen is basically for all you lore hunters out there. If you guys enjoy reading backstories on some of the characters to give a little bit more context to the game, then this is where you'll do it. So it's broken down into categories to make it easier for us to access. You have characters, enemies, Enoch, history and lore, and miscellaneous. So as we go through, you'll notice that there's certain enemies. There's Enoch, which is the zones that we visited. You have history and lore, which is things that you've collected, journal entries, different lore pieces that you find around the areas that give more context to the world around you. And then you have miscellaneous, which are the brunt of the collectible items that you find throughout the world. Now, throughout Enoch, there is a whole bunch of collectibles for us to find. I'm not quite sure how much is in the demo, but I've acquired about 6 out of the total 66. And as you can see, we've barely scraped the surface in the demo. We've only visited 5 out of the potential 44 zones. There's a ton more enemies for us to hunt, and there is a ton more characters for us to meet. So there's a lot of good stuff upcoming. The demo is just a small sample size, and I will be sure to come out with an updated video once the game goes live. So I did mention the world tier, so I'm going to come back here. Now, world tiers are a separate sort of leveling system for you. So you yourself have a character level up, and you can level up, and when the game goes live, you'll be able to level up to level 30. Your weapons and gear will be able to go up to level 50, and your world tier level will be able to go up all the way to world tier 15. Now, what world tiers do basically is increase the difficulty of the minions around you, and this will increase the loot that you get. This will increase the chances of that loot. This will make the enemies much harder to defeat, and as you start getting into these tiers, you'll see if you hover over them, the rewards that you get. So from world tier 12 on, you actually get a legendary reward every time you increase your world tier level. So this is going to be a great system, and what this means is that you'll be able to, if things are too difficult, you can also drop down world tier levels, which will make the enemies easier to face, and you can you know, kind of tailor the game to your playstyle, how you see fit. So if you're playing with friends who just got on, you can come all the way back here and you can run along with them, and it won't feel like such a hassle, you know, which is a really great system that they have implemented into this game. Last but not least, you have the customization menu found up here. This is where you will upgrade your banner. You put your banner down at all of the different travel points, and you can fully customize it based off of the rewards you get from the accolade levels. You can change your flag shape, the raggedness. You can change the pattern on it, the flag color, the border color, and you can change the sigil on it from things that you've unlocked. So this is a really cool system as well. And of course, what looter shooter would be complete if you didn't have some emotes to go ahead and, you know, show off your stuff, so to speak. I know, guys, that this could seem overwhelming, and almost positive that I didn't capture everything. So please let me know if there was anything that I missed in the comments. I'd love to hear it. You know, I want to make better content for you guys, but I just wanted to make sure I got this out early enough in the demo's life that people could maybe learn something from this, something that they, you know, didn't know before. And if you have any questions or anything for me, I will go ahead and I will leave my group Outriders Discord link in the description below. We're always looking for more people to come into the chat, and you know, we have a really helpful community, and we'd love to talk. You know, we all have a passion for this game. We have really high hopes for this game, and we love it. So if you want to come in and, you know, be a part of that community, please do so. The link's below in the description, as well as all of the other resources that I've discussed in the video. They will all be included in the description below. If you'd like to join me on my socials, I will leave that down. But you know, I think I've pretty much touched basis on everything that there is. I didn't want to spoil too much, but I did want to give some info and some context to certain things that may not be, you know, apparent. So hopefully this video helps. If it did, I'd love to get, you know, your support. Leave a little like, leave a little follow, a little subscribe for Moz Grizzly to Big Bear. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.